Hey, it's Spencer Welch here, and I want to talk to you today about chest voice. So what is chest voice? Well, it's the lower range or lower register of your voice. When you sing or speak, how do we find our chest voice? A really easy way is take your hand, put it on your chest, and say, ah, kind of loud. Ah, ah. Really what we're looking for is three things. A low note, with an open vowel, meaning an ah or an ah, at a fairly loud volume. So the combination of those three things should produce chest voice in you. Try it. Put your hand on your collarbone again, pick a low note, open vowel, ah or ah, and then loud volume. Ah, 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 and there's my chest voice. Do you feel a vibration under your hand when you do that? I know that I do. So let's compare this to head voice. Put your hand on your collarbone again, but this time instead of saying ah, ah, say hoo. We say we're hooting like an owl. Hoo, hoo. Do you feel as much vibration under your hand for that? I know I don't. Those vibrations feel like they're more in my head. They lift up to my head. And this is where we get the term head voice. We're going to talk more about head voice in a future video. Where does this all come from? Where does the term chest voice come from? Well, in ancient days, they actually thought that this rumbling in the chest when you made a low note meant that the sound was being produced in the chest. And then they thought that the higher notes were produced in the head, and that's where we get the term head voice. Now these days we know a little bit better. We know that the vocal folds or vocal cords produce all notes, whether you're speaking or singing. And then as a result of resonation and vibration, we get sympathetic vibrations in the chest for low notes and in the head for high notes. Now remember that this is a bit subjective, so I don't want you to get a complex if you don't feel sound exactly the way that I do or the next singer does. Some people get very specific about that high notes have to be felt here or have to be felt here or here, and low notes have to be felt here or here. You know what? Don't worry about it. If you're just sticking to those objective things, a low note with an open vowel and a loud sound, that's going to help you find chest voice, and that's going to help you build it. This doesn't mean that you have to sing loud at all times when you're in your chest voice. It's just the way to find it and build it if you find that your lower notes tend to be a little bit kind of breathy. Another way of thinking of chest voice is that it's very similar to our speaking voice, because unless you're Julia Child or Mickey Mouse, you are probably using your chest voice when you speak. That's what I'm using right now because I'm not talking like this. You could also take your hand, put it on your collarbone and say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And instantly I'm using my chest voice. So I'm speaking on pitch in order to start to feel my chest voice develop and in order to see my singing take on some of the natural color of my speaking voice. Eventually we want to get to the point where we can start in the bottom, chest voice, and not necessarily break into the top, which is sometimes called falsetto. We want to be able to move from chest voice to head voice in a connected way. But you know what? We're going to talk more about head voice in the next video and then start to talk about how to connect these things together. So until then, thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any of the content that we have coming for you. Thanks, and keep singing.